Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, so let's get started. This is a good one. I took a peek at it. The verse actually is pretty good. Galatians 1 verse 10. Now am I trying to win the favor of man or of God? Do I seek to please men? If I were still seeking popularity with men, I should not be a bond servant of Christ. Galatians 1 verse 10. The title of the devotion is Choose to Please God. Choose to Please God. I already like this. So we're going to have a little discussion about it. The Apostle Paul said that in his ministry, he had to choose between pleasing men and pleasing God. That is a choice you also must make. I could tell you the number of things that I've done in my life. And if I were to put two columns of which one was to please God and which one was to please men, not everything would be under please God. Not everything would be to please God, because there are some things I could tell you from my experience that I've done to please men and not to please God. There's a lot of that I had to fix, and I'm still fixing. So it continues. If your goal is to build a name for yourself and win favor with people, it will cause you to live in fear of man rather than in fear of God. I'm gonna tell you, trying to get the acceptance of other people, trying to get the acceptance of friends, or not even friends, even associates or people that you may not even know, but you want to gain their acceptance because it will make you feel better. That is to me something that needs to check, because until you get their acceptance, because you have put them in and you fear them so much, you put them on a pedestal and you fear them so much, their acceptance will give you joy on the inside. And I'm gonna tell you, man, a lot of people don't realize that. For me, at least as a believer, God is the only person I could fear. I want God's acceptance. Whether they, come back with stuff or feel like they could accept me or not, doesn't mean much of anything. Those perspectives have to shift. For me, I have tried my best to put God at the pedestal. If what I'm doing is something that promotes God in a way that's positive, I need to be with that. If there's something that, because even with the people that we try to get acceptance from, the people that we fear, they themselves have struggles. They themselves have things that they're going through, and they're limited. So I can't put my fears in that direction. I can't put my desires in that direction. My direction has to be where the joy, the strength, the love is limitless, and that's with God. So my humble opinion is that we all try our best to put God at the pedestal and fear Him, because His acceptance means much more than anybody on this earth. I'm telling you. If God, I try to do this in my mind. I do this exercise. If God was to come ring my doorbell and I open the door, would I be happy that He's here? If He were in the flesh, would I be happy that He was here? Would I want Him to be like, man, I'm so proud of you. I just came to visit. I have those types of thoughts, and I don't ever want to have somebody else ring the doorbell, and I'm much more happier that somebody else came to ring my doorbell than God Himself. So God is paramount. He's the one that I fear. He's the acceptance that I want. And I try my best. And I fall sometimes. I fall short of his acceptance and things like that. But I work on it consistently to try to do better. It says here, for years, I tried to build my own reputation among believers by striving to win the favor of men. But through bitter experience, I learned I was submitting to a sort of slavery to people. God helped me realize I could only be truly free in Him. If you're trying to build your reputation with people, it's time to give up all your own human efforts and simply trust God. If you're trying to build your reputation with people, it's time to give up all your human efforts and simply trust God. I mean, I agree with the devotion. My review of it is that it's spot on. If you trust God more, there's no reason why men's acceptance would ever satisfy you as much as what you would get from God. You know, just the thought of how good He is and how helpful He could be could change the thought process that you have. And I think, you know, if you find yourself, like I said, I do it a lot. You find yourself trying to understand why you feel the way you feel about man, whoever it is. And then if there is something that needs to change, you might need to change your perspective. Go read stories about some of the things He's done for other people. Look at your life and see how much He has done for you. Most of the people we fear have done nothing for us as much as God has done. So I don't even go in a direction or try to stay in that space where men could be like the one that I fear and the ones that I accept. People could talk, let them talk. People could say whatever it is they want. And they will, you know, it's just life. But you gotta make sure you put God at the forefront. All right, so prayer of the day. Father, help me get my principles straight and to line up the things I'm doing in a way that is pleasing to you, rather than trying to keep people happy and fixed. Amen. All right. I like this one. I took a peek at it last night and I was very pleased. It's something that's important. People pleasing could be detrimental, not only from a spiritual standpoint, but social as well. People pleasing could be detrimental, and I caution you, and I caution like even myself, like when I'm making decisions to make people feel good, that's a problem. I mean, in some cases, there are things we should not do, even if it makes us feel good. You know, there could be some toxic things that we're doing that we shouldn't do, because we're trying to please man. So be careful of it. Try to change your perspective, and listen to other folks that are winning too with their perspective spiritually, because it helps. We have all these types of things coming in our direction that feed into who we should fear and who we should accept or gain acceptance from in our society, in our world. So if you find that you're struggling with this, that you try your best to make people feel good and yourself feel good through men's eyes or men's point of view, figure out a way to connect with folks that are winning with God. Like, try your best to do it within, you know, pray, read the word, devotions, listen to gospel, because this spiritual journey is it's an individual one. It's an individual one. You could definitely try your best to build on the trust and faith you have for God, the fear you have for God, because His acceptance is worth more than anything. All right. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Have a good day, and I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow.